What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. I just want to talk about how good things are happening, and I'm not sure if a lot of you are paying attention to what's happening in the world, or if the only thing you're paying attention to is what's happening in your particular country, your particular town, or particular area. But in the black world, in the African world, worldwide, there are a lot of good things happening, and I'm just going to highlight a few of them that maybe some of you guys don't know about. All right. So Ethiopia has a hydro dam. All right, I think it's one of the largest hydro dams in the world. It's going to be able to produce an insane amount of power, and it's going to be able to power a lot of African homes. A lot of countries will be able to utilize African power, hydropower from Ethiopia to power their houses. That's a big deal. Also, Kenya, they've taken over a lot of the railroad projects that once was being done by the Chinese. All right, so they will be in control of that railroad that's basically going to connect the east and is going to connect the east and the west and the north together, so that trade will to work well, so that trade can be smoother between East Africa and West Africa and various other places. Also, in the Congo, I think they also have a dam they're creating over there. Once that that power dam is created, that will be able to also power a large portion of Africa and African countries, and we'll be able to buy our own energy from ourselves instead of exporting it from other places, which makes zero sense. Nigeria, the Dangote, the richest man in Africa, the Dangote group, I think I'm saying it right, is making the biggest refinery, one of the biggest oil refinery in Nigeria. And once that thing is complete, Nigeria will be able to refine the oils that's in the ground in Nigeria. So, and in other African countries. So that means no longer will Europeans be the only game in town when it comes to pulling oil out the ground, sending it to another country for them to refine it and selling it back to us. That makes no sense. So once that is created, we'll be able to Africa will be able to produce its plastics and various other products that it can also sell to other African countries. So that's going on. In America, what do we got going on here in America? The highest earning immigration, the most successful immigrants to America are Nigerians. They are the most successful and they make the most money, and they're the highest educated. African Americans themselves are, as a group, very highly educated, and most of us are in the middle class. But the Nigerians are definitely coming over here, and they're definitely doing their thing, and they're taking over very important industries. That's important. Because that knowledge needs to be at some point will benefit the continent. What else good is happening? Barbados, you hear Barbados, they are renouncing basically the British colonial rule, and they're going to get rid of the Queen as the head of state, which is ridiculous that the Queen on that little island still is the head of state of any other nation other than her own. That's ridiculous, and I'm glad the Caribbean nations are waking up to that, and hopefully other Caribbean nations will follow suit and get rid of the Queen, because get rid of the Queen and that imperialistic whole system. Also, a lot of the African Union, and their rotating presidency. I think the Ghanaian president is now the president of the African Union at the moment, and him, along with, surprisingly, Buhari. I know a lot of people got problems with the Nigerian president Buhari and a lot of things that he do within his country that his people don't agree with. But on the international scale, he's making some good moves. He's making some positive moves, and I'm liking how the West Africans are now demanding a proper and equal seat in the United Nations Security Council, because Africa's massive, and the rest of Europe is an island compared to Africa. There's no reason why we don't have a full and equal seat in the United Nations, so that we can make decisions that have the same type of stopping power, or same type of influential power when it comes to world events and stuff like that. Seeing how Africa is pretty much the world. Everybody's concentrating on Africa, so if they want to come do business, they need to give us our proper representation. So There's a lot of good speeches going on where a lot of leaders, African leaders, older African leaders that been kind of like we've been kind of pushing. Please come on, stand up. Have some African pride. Self-reflection on why is it that African leaders allow foreigners to come in and take advantage of us, because that's what's happening. And a lot of that reflecting is going on in Africa right now as past presidents, prime ministers are gathering together, strategizing on how to take back control of the continent and how to work better with each other to create our own massive economy that we should have been did, that we had before it collapsed. Now it's time to do it again. There's probably some more stuff out there, good things happening, but there are a lot of good things happening. Us black folks, we're on the way. We're on our way. We're on our way. Things are being put in place. Things are moving along. We're not just talking anymore. Action is being taken. All right, and that's the most important thing, is that action is being taken place. We can talk all day long. We can talk until our faces are blue, but until we actually do something or make an attempt, then we're just going to be in the same situations we always been in. And I'm glad that, because the older politicians in Africa are realizing the youth is going to take over. So you're either going to have to get with the program for your own survival, get with the program because you had to change your heart, get with the program politically and tactically. You're going to have to. Like, there's various different reasons why these leaders are all of a sudden coming to the light. But whatever their motivations, either way is coming to the light. All right, and it's going to cause change. And the future is bright for black folks. The future is bright for Africans, despite the resistance of the former colonizer. You just look, Africa's doing the best when it comes to COVID-19 thing. Look at, because African countries have experience with viruses. We've been tackling something we have to deal with, external viruses, whether it be human viruses, we know what that is, or whether it be biological viruses or whatever. Africans have lots of experience in it, so it seems like African countries knew what they were doing, and they had just finished dealing with Ebola. So it's not like those systems were broken down, they were there. So while the Western world, Europe, trying to figure out how these Africans were able to pretty much, almost smoothly sail through this COVID-19 epidemic, while Europe and America is being ravished. This so-called the best first world countries with the best everything, for some reason, not working out. So clearly, Africans know what they're doing. Nigerians also coming up with their own vaccine. Their own scientists are coming up with their own vaccine, and I heard about that too. So that's another good thing. We don't have to wait for Europe to give us stuff. They're not our fathers. We are the fathers. In nature, we are the fathers. So we need to take up we are the fathers and the mothers. We need to take up our own role and take care of ourselves, in every aspect, and stop looking for them to do things for us, because we don't need anybody to do anything for us. We have all the resources and power and knowledge to do it ourselves. So I just wanted to say something, positive. So good things are happening. All right, so just keep a lookout for all the little good things, and protect yourselves from the people that don't want to see us prosper. Keep that in mind. This is going to be a rough journey for us before we get to where we need to be. And when we get to where we need to be, there's still work to be done, because us as Africans, we have problems internally that we need to fix ourselves, despite what the colonizers done, because there's things that the colonizers didn't do to us. There are things that we do to ourselves that we damage ourselves. There are practices that we practice. There are spiritual systems that we practice. There are religions that we practice that have nothing to do with the Asian, that have nothing to do with European. That's all homegrown. That is wrong. That is perverted. That is outdated, because we need to update ourselves too. We can blame them for what they've done, but we need to also blame ourselves for the things that we've done, and we need to update our way of thinking too. So we got to keep our minds on the goal, and let's just keep pushing forward. But yes, there are a lot of good things happening, and keep that in mind as you go through your day-to-day struggles to provide for yourself and your family. All right, this is Afro Think Tank. Peace. I'm out.